So why do open APIs matter to your construction accounting system? That's a really great question, and I'm just going to dive right into it. For those of you who are new to the language, I am just going to give you kind of a 50,000 foot view of what an open API is. So essentially, an open API is a list of, you can think of them as functions, basically that you can tap into in your accounting software. So Sage Intacct for Construction has an API. Let's say you wanted to pull customer records, or you wanted to pull certain invoices, or you wanted to pull data from your system, from that Intacct system, and be able to register that data into another system or work with that data into another system. Then you would utilize the open APIs of both systems to write that code that connects those two platforms. And likely you're going to, for instance, write it into the platform that is receiving the information. So let's say I had a CRM system and I wanted to, every time I closed a deal in my CRM system, I wanted to push that customer into my accounting system, because obviously accounting is going to have to set up the project and bill that customer and all of that good stuff, right? So we've won a bid in our CRM, we've marked that over to, yes, I want it. And then we want that customer record and its contacts even to be a part of, or in records in our Sage Intacct for Construction system. Well, we can utilize our open API to make that happen. So with a legacy system, you wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that. You would have had to, beg the software manufacturer that you're trying to push or pull data into or from to, basically give you the functionality to port into their system. But now with an open API, if you know code, or if you know somebody who knows code, or you can hire a developer, or there's a bunch of developer websites and things like that you can get a freelancer or what have you, you can now make a lot of systems talk that just couldn't talk before. Now, I will give you a warning that my general guidance is that you should be prepared to spend a lot of money to make these things connect. But a lot of times that can be invaluable. Let's say that we are, reducing errors, by a margin of, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars with an API connection that we wouldn't have had before, we didn't have before. Well, then it may be worth you taking a look at it. If you're, if it's something as simple as, hey, if I have a vendor in my CRM, I want that vendor to be in, Sage Intacct for Construction, or I have a vendor in my, estimating or quoting system, and I want that vendor to be in Sage Intacct for Construction. I don't want to have to enter that data twice. Well, honestly, there's developers out there who'll do that pretty darn cheap. So there's a wide variety of, from the low end to the high end. And we can get into that in another video. But why it matters is because we've never had this level of accessibility. We've never had this level of connectivity before. And that's a blessing in disguise, because we can all of a sudden do a lot more things that we couldn't do before. We can, you're going to start to see connectors on the marketplace, Sage Intacct marketplace, that you would never have seen with Sage 300 Construction Real Estate and Sage 100 Contractor even. And so you can start to get this whole picture of the system that you would never have gotten before. And the capability that it unlocks can be massive. Contractors frequently say we've never had a CRM system. We probably should have a CRM system of some sort. Can we have that with Sage Intacct Construction? Yeah, you can. It connects with HubSpot. It connects with Zoho CRM. It connects with a bunch of, Salesforce if you want to spend the money. So it connects with what I think is really 3 of the leading CRM systems, in construction today. And the open API allows you to, let's say you had a proprietary system that you wanted to connect into, or you had a system that also has an API connector or whatnot, you can utilize the open API on both ends to make that happen. So why open APIs matter? Well, just simply bottom line is it helps you connect more data to more platforms, period. So if you like this content, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you do. Hit that like button, helps the algorithm. And I'm curious, what would you use an Open API for? Are there any fun side projects that you would get into? Is there a system that you've always wanted to connect to, but you haven't been able to? Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know. And as always, I really appreciate you spending the time with me today, and make it a great one.